What's up, everybody? Justin here from Utah Airguns. Got something really exciting to talk about today. We've got the new King. King is not new, but the new part about this is the synthetic stock. It has not been available in synthetic so far. But let's talk about the King for a minute and what makes it the King and why it deserves such a cool name. The King is the predecessor to, say, the Crown, but everything that the Crown didn't have, they've added to this, which was desirable. So we've added more power. We've added this new barrel system where we have the entire plenum over the barrel. So it's a super solid, rigid barrel. That was, one of the wishes that the Crowns had, was a more solid barrel and that it could shoot slugs more powerful. Well, they've made those adjustments in this gun, and now we've got the King. So let's go over a few things about the King that are special outside of what we've just talked about. So first off, with any other gun platform, we've had to tune or maybe add heavier hammers or anything internally, change it to be able to make the kind of power that you needed to shoot slugs. Or the opposite way, if we wanted to shoot pellets, or especially if we wanted to shoot really low power pellets, there's some type of modification sometimes you had to do to previous guns, which isn't a bad thing that you have that capability. But this gun was made to be just an awesome out of the box. You don't have to go throwing extra parts, extra internals, do anything crazy with it, because they built it specifically for the uses that you were going to use it for. Meaning they made it in a shorter barrel with a 500mm barrel. That's going to be your pellet specific rifle. You can just take this gun out of the box, mount the scope, sight it in, and you're good to go. They also made a longer barrel, the 600mm barrel, which will come with your slug liner, your heavier hammer, your higher power components, so that you can shoot a broad range of from light to heavy slugs, and it's still going to have plenty of power. If you're not familiar with the FX barrel platforms, and you keep hearing us talk about barrel liners and all this, let me explain a little bit real quick. A barrel liner is your actual barrel, but in the FX guns, they have a barrel liner, which is your actual barrel that's rifled and what your projectile goes through. That is also inside of a metal housing, and then you have what's called a shroud around that. That's this big piece that can be for a few reasons. This one in particular, obviously, is it has an air plenum, which is where the air is stored that's going to be shot. Also, on the end, you have the purpose of a shroud that it helps with sound suppression. So when you hear us talking about barrel liners, that's what we're talking about. So in a short barrel, we put a pellet liner in there, which has a different twist rate, has a slower twist rate, a different tightness of the choke on the end, to make it the most accurate barrel you can shoot a pellet out of. The reason it's in a shorter platform is pellets don't take near the air or the power to shoot at velocity as a slug does, because of the friction that they have going down the barrel. There's almost no friction from a pellet going down the barrel. With a slug, you have a tremendous amount of friction when you're pushing it down the barrel. So that's why we talk about shooting slugs out of longer barrels, pellets out of shorter barrels, because you'll get all the power you need out of a shorter barrel with a pellet. But with slugs, you do need that extra barrel length that you can push that pellet longer to get the velocity you need. So that's what's great about the King. Whether you know a lot about airguns or you don't know anything and you just want a really nice, accurate, perfect airgun, this is for you, because they've already set barrel lengths, barrel liners, and they've also got the internals set for pellets. If you do want to tune it a little bit with velocities, if you're shooting a heavier or a lighter pellet, you've still got those external adjustments out here that are very simple to use, and with a little bit of instruction, you can tune that gun yourself. And on the other side, in the 600mm, it has got the internals, it's got the barrel liner, it's got the barrel length and everything to shoot slugs. So a great out-of-the-box platform that if you bought it to shoot pellets accurately, you wanted to shoot pellets only, or if you wanted to shoot slugs or very heavy pellets, it's already made for that platform. You don't have to do anything different. That's the beauty of this gun. I can't think of another gun on the market that is like that, where you can buy it specific for what ammunition you're shooting, and it's already built for that, it's tuned for that, out of the box. And for people who don't like to tinker and have to do things, work on things, who just want to shoot and have the best thing possible, bing, here's your answer. So that's a little bit of a breakdown of what the King was made for, what this platform is about. It's not a new gun, it's been out for a year or two, but What is new is they've finally completed the synthetic stock. So if you still want that beautiful wood GRS stock that's got all these wonderful adjustments, it's super comfortable, it's beautiful, just an amazing rifle stock, but it's a little bit out of the price range, or hey, I'd like to spend that extra money on maybe the optics, great. You can still have the same gun, but now in a synthetic stock, and the synthetic stock, you can shoot it left-handed or right-handed. It's an ambidextrous stock. It's also, unlike most synthetic stocks out of the box, you do have an adjustable butt pad to go up or down, so make it a little bit more comfortable for however you set the gun up. Maybe you set it up for a higher scope ring or a lower scope ring. You can adjust the butt stock to align yourself with that a little bit better. And this makes it a little bit lighter as well. So the gun is quite light, extremely comfortable. But the price point is amazing now, where you can have this synthetic stock on such an amazing gun. On top of all of that, let's talk about a couple other key features that it does have that are noteworthy. You do have side Picatinny rails to mount maybe your little FX mini chronograph, or if you want a light, or whatever you desire to put on the side of your gun, you can have that ability now. There are some bipods that attach to Picatinny on the sides like that. If that's what you desire, great. It also has the Picatinny on top instead of dovetail with your MOA built in. I believe it's got 30 MOA built into the gun. You don't need to have those adjustable scope rings. You can throw some fixed set of rings on here and still be good to go and be able to dial for a long, long ways if you need to. Oh, last but not least, I forgot to talk about the trigger. Let's talk about the trigger. The trigger is extremely good. It's fully adjustable, first and second stage. Out of the box, I'm guessing this one is somewhere around half a pound. And if you don't believe me, let's see how good I am. Let's put a trigger gauge on this thing. So, Sawyer, help me out, buddy.
Okay, I'm just going to catch the charging handle. So there's that 8.6. There we go. Sweet. 8.6.
That'll work.
Yeah.
So enough talk. We're going to take this gun to the range. We're going to give a little bit more of an in-depth review that we haven't done that for a long time. So we're going to shoot some groups with different ammunitions, and you're going to get to see Sawyer go to work on that. I'm not shooting today. I have a bad shoulder. I should be wearing a sling. My wife's going to chew me out when she sees this video, as a matter of fact. But let's go down to the range. Let's let Sawyer, we'll mount a scope on it. Let's shoot some groups. We'll shoot some different ammunition. Let's see how it does right out of the box. I believe this is a 22 caliber. Yeah, 22 cal pellet platform. I wish I had every caliber and every length available at the moment, but we're obviously making this video early before they arrive and before we have ample stock of this, so that you guys get to see this the time we do get it and we launch this gun. But for now, this is what we've got, so that's what we're going to test. Let's go do it.
All right, guys, we're going to get started. We're going to start with the 18 grain JSBs. We'll get all nice and set here. So I'm just going to start top left of the left target. We'll do a little 5-shot group and go from there. It's 929. 925. Last one. That's a really good group. That was some good velocities too. That was really consistent. It started a little high, but then it was like 925, 926. So now let's jump. I'm actually kind of excited to try these. These are the exact jumbo monsters. These are the new Grands. They're 28.55 grains. So they might fly a little slower, but we're not going to change the tune. We're just going to see how they shoot with our normal pellet tune right now. All right. And I'm going to move to the bottom left of the left target. Wow, 795, so they're going a lot slower. I'm just keeping my same point of aim, center of the target, but they're grouping really good. Oh, that one was a little higher. That might have been me. I felt like it kind of pulled off a touch. There's 5. So they're all like 793 to 795. Same hole except for one, just a touch higher. We kind of talked about this in our pellets versus slug video, but pellets, because they're drag stabilized, they don't like to go as fast. And when you push them fast, they spin faster. And when you get a lot more spin on a pellet, they kind of like to spiral. There's obviously a lot of factors at play, but I think it's because of the O-drive. They don't have a lot of central mass, so that spinning mass is kind of in the tail, and when that spins too fast, they kind of start to yaw and pitch out of the way. So we're just going to make them go more of the speed they like, and they usually tend to fly a lot better and be a lot more consistent. All right, so now we are going to test some AEA 18 grains. A lot of people really like these for bench rest, so I'm very interested to see how they shoot out of the King. All right, I'll go for the top right target on the right. I might have pulled that one a little to the left. Maybe not. All right, those shot really well. Pretty consistent too, right around 920, maybe 1 or 2 high or low. But I did pull one a little to the right. The rest of them were like exact same hole. So let's pull those targets back and we'll look over them real quick. So this is our first group with the JSBs, the 18 grainers. Those shot fantastic. Then we moved to those jumbos, the grands. So they're like 25 grains. Obviously it's a little bit lower and quite a bit slower, but still a really good group. Then we move over here, the AEAs. I had a little bit of lateral, and I think I pulled one, but for the most part, all 4 were right here, and then one of those shots I pulled just to the right. So that was my bad, but those were very consistent and very accurate. These are just some other groups we shot to confirm. But yeah, the King likes pretty much everything we put through it. That's a really good sign. I do, later on, maybe we'll tune up those grands to get them up to around like the 900, 910 mark. I think those will fly really good and hit really hard because they're quite a bit heavier than the other stuff. But let's go up to the studio, and Justin is going to continue this review of the new King.
All right, so we're back. You guys got to see that stuff out of the range. Sawyer, first impressions, what did you think?
It shot really good out of the box. We started off with just some regular 18 grain JSBs, and it was just stacking them. They were flying straight. You guys know that pellets, we kind of talked about it when I was shooting, pellets like to go a little bit slower, so we made sure it was shooting right around the low 900 range. I think we were right in the 920 range, which is, I think that's a pretty good sweet spot for hunting, but also maintaining that accuracy and stability. And it shot the JSBs awesome. Then we moved up to the 25 grain grands.
Yeah.
The JSBs.
28 grains, so they're
28
quite a bit
grains,
heavier,
so quite a bit heavier. And we didn't change the tune. I was curious to see how accurate it would be. It was shooting like high 700s, but it still, you guys saw, it stacked them, which I was kind of surprised. And later on, we'll show like a tuning video, getting those up to that more efficient pellet speed, like up in the low 900s. But it shot those awesome. Velocity was extremely consistent. And then we went to a different brand. We shot the AEA 18 grains, and they shot awesome as well. This gun just likes pretty much whatever you put through it. We'd obviously like to put like every kind of pellet through it and give you all that data, but you guys kind of have a short attention span sometimes, so we couldn't put that in a video. But yeah, it just shoots. Like Justin said, it's a great just out of the box gun for you guys that don't want to tune, but it's also great for you guys that do want to tune and really fine tune your accuracy and velocity. So it's just a good gun. Like, you can't go wrong with it.
Yeah. And one thing to note that when you were shooting and I was watching is I don't recall having to fill it up much.
No, and we obviously put a lot more rounds through it than what you guys saw in the video, so it's got a great shot count, and that's another plus of shooting pellets. It's already efficient shooting pellets, but you're shooting an already efficient gun, so it's just compounding. It'd be perfect for hunting.
If I had to guess, shooting 18 grain pellets at around 900 feet per second, I'll bet you were at least 100.
Oh yeah.
At least 100 shots per fill. So it's extremely efficient, and it proves again, tack driver. So awesome platform. I'm in love with the synthetic stock. I love that we have that option now.
Yeah.
Because, with the GRS stock, it's a custom stock built for this gun out of very nice laminate wood, and it's also got all the adjustments. So you pay for it. If you want something that nice, you pay for it. But it also puts it up in that price tier where it was well into the mid 2000s, where now you're back into what, $1,700.
Yeah.
So, I mean, for that kind of money, this gun is ridiculously good, and you can do whatever you want with it. That's the beauty of it. You can hunt small game, you can hunt medium-sized game, you can shoot targets at 10 meters if you want.
Yeah.
Tone it down, shoot those. I mean, it's just capable of doing a little bit of everything. If you want to compete with it, if you want to just plink with it, this is a fantastic platform for that. And fair to note, there's actually 3 different options you have now for stocks, because you have the new synthetic stock, you have the GRS stock as well, and also you're starting to see chassis coming out for this. So I know Saber, my daughter Kate actually competes now. She's graduated from her Crown to now she's actually shooting the King platform in a chassis, and she's just absolutely loving it, because that Crown was a little bit lacking power for slugs. Now she can shoot a more comparable slug, like 34 grain slug, and still shoot them up in those upper 900 foot per second. So she's not at a little bit of a disadvantage from shooting a lighter slug. So she's loving it, and it's just an awesome platform.
Yeah.
On that note, hopefully once we start getting the full inventory in, where we'll have 35 cals, we'll have everything from 35 cal to 177 and the different barrel lengths. I look forward to doing a few more videos with this thing, whether it be shooting some big stuff with the 35 cals, or we just put it through the mixes with slugs with 25 and 22 and also with pellets. So look forward to that. I guarantee you'll get to see some videos of that soon, but you're going to love it. And we can't wait to get this out to you. So I guess that's a wrap today on the King. And thanks for watching. Hey, if you like the videos, please hit like, subscribe, all those things that you see on each platform, basically. And please give us your comments. We'd love to hear your comments. You can critique us. We don't mind. But if you have questions, comments, whatever, please drop it in the comments. We love to hear them. We'd love to see those comments and questions. So we appreciate you guys, and thanks again for watching. We'll catch you guys on the next one.